Remember that show Rocket Power? You know, that show that was on Nickelodeon from like 1998 to 2004? Probably not, since it is like 2022. For those unaware, it was a cartoon on Nickelodeon by Klasky Supo, the same people that made other Nickelodeon classics like Rugrats and As Told by Ginger, which I didn't watch As Told by Ginger, what? It was about a group of kids, friends if you will, that went around doing a lot of sports-related crap like skating, street hockey, etc., mixed in with plot for filler. It was one of my favorite shows growing up, and yes, I'm getting old. As a youth browsing my local mall's EB Games, when I saw there was a Rocket Power game for the Game Boy Advance, I knew I had to buy it. From what I remember, this wasn't the best game in my library, but memorable enough that I felt that after 17 years or so, this would be a good game to revisit. Together. The first thing I noticed is the kick-ass music. The next thing I notice is password? I hate this shit. Why can't this game have save slots like every other normal game? I gotta write down a code every time I want to stop playing? The plot is kind of weird too. The local grump of a neighbor, Merv Stimpleton, is up late at night making a Stimpleton device. What devious scheme is he plotting to commit with this mysterious technology? He plans to turn Ocean Shores into a polka resort? And that's just terrible. Oh wait, it actually turns out Otto ate too many hot wings and this whole evil polka scheme is just a dream. That's kind of better? Also, he's kidnapped your sister Reggie and your other friends and family. I gotta admit, the pixel art is spot on. The cul-de-sac looks just like it did in the show and so do the characters. So here's the main level select screen. I'm not the best artist in the world, but this background looks a teeny tiny little bit half-assed. They didn't even fill the entire thing, it just looks kinda scribbled in. So far the only unlocked levels are the beach, the skate park, or the school. Well fuck school, let's go to Ocean Shores Beach. We can only play as Otto right now, but it's made clear the rest of the cast will eventually be an option. This is Ocean Shores Beach? This looks nothing like Ocean Shores Beach. Nothing about this tells me Ocean Shores. It's just a bunch of basic buildings and some impossibly sturdy giant sandcastles to make it feel like any beach level in any video game. And what's up with these collectibles? Stars? Collecting stars isn't related to rocket power? Kind of reminds me of the collectibles in Toy Story on Super Nintendo. The enemies seem really bland too. It's a mix of the same three people with this mind device bullshit on their heads. There's also this robot thing on a rail, and then monkeys for some reason. I don't have the best memory, but as far as I remember, there was never any fucking monkeys in jean jackets and jetpacks on the show. This is also weird, like the game began with so much promise. I mean, the story is weird, but damn, I was expecting something closer to the show. Well, Otto is having hot wing nightmares, so I guess it's not supposed to make any sense? The animations are really nice too, if a bit odd. Otto looks like Dracula when he's riding his skateboard. While the animations look smooth, the movement itself on your skates or skateboard is fucking aggravating. It's like ice skating on oiled butter. It'd be fine, but there's a lot of platform jumping in this game that can quickly become irritating depending on your patience level. The camera is kind of out of control in this weird way. Depending on which way you face, the camera shifts to show us more of whichever side you're facing. Sounds like it should be helpful, but it just becomes disorienting for some reason. Maybe it's because of the slippery controls. You'll be hitting left and right to balance yourself on platforms and it sends the camera everywhere. Between this and the bland and confusing level design, it just starts to hurt your fucking eyes after a while. Skating on the sand is a no-go, so I'm forced to use the foot option at this point. I'd almost use it the whole game to avoid sliding everywhere, but being rocket power, there's a lot of bits of rail that require you to skate on them to get to certain spots or collectibles. So these sandy parts are pretty much the only time shoes are a must. What the hell is this crap? There seems to be gates separating the levels into chunks, with there either being a keycard or star counter or a switch. Oh, and if it's a switch, be careful not to hit the switch a second time because it will reclose the stupid gate. Don't know why they would program that into the game. I guess I should also mention the health bar is represented by Z's because Otto is asleep. Getting beat the fuck up in his dream will wake him up. Whoa, dude, what a crazy dream! Ah, fuck, it's time for school. Now these kids did some pretty ballsy stuff on the show that most sane people wouldn't want to do. But I don't remember the kids being badass enough to fight fucking sharks. I doubt this is even enough water for sharks to live in comfortably. You know, the developers of this game really should have stuck to smaller sea creatures like starfish or jellyfish or sponges. Wait a minute. Finally, at the end of the level, we get to rescue Reggie and unlock her as a playable character. Alright, let's try the skate park. I mean, this is fucking rocket power. Besides, the skate park should be a way more recognizable setting than the beach. We'll play as Reggie, who is a bit of a jack of all trades. Alright, Madtown! They even put the sign in! Reggie looks a little bit too happy at the moment, if you know what I'm saying. Oh yeah, that's how everyone used to rollerblade in the 90s. At least this sort of resembles a skate park, though the broken railing is a cause for concern. I guess Stimpleton also invented a cloning device too. But instead of using this marvel of technology for something practical, he instead uses it to clone copies of Twister's dumbass older brother, Lars. At least I recognize him from the show. Okay, the more I play this level, the less it looks like any skate park I've ever been to in my life. What the hell is this? A nuclear bunker? Anyway, at the end of the level is a boss fight of sorts, and it's none other than the original Lars and his army of clones. It's a pretty easy fight, just jump on his head 3 times and he's done. We rescued Twister this time. Looks like he got interrogated pretty hard. Next up is the school, which honestly they never really showed much of on the show, so I can't get too critical about the level design. Let's play as Twister, who is a skateboarding master apparently. Okay, so what's the point of giving me a key at the beginning and then a few feet ahead is the gate? Well then why have a gate? After that though, the school's level design actually seems to make the most sense so far, in the sense that it actually looks like a fucking school. This is the part where I noticed that your character's face in the corner of the screen reacts to damage and picking items up. Twister looks very impatient, like he's taking time out of his busy schedule to let us play as him. This stage's boss is just a kid on a pogo stick. 3 times. Kind of basic, but hey, at least we saved Sam. Why does his face look so jumbled up? Wait, his best stat is walking? He didn't suck that bad in the show. The next levels are the neighborhood and the town square, both places that are sometimes seen in the show but not really defining locations. It's around this time that I began to realize that the only thing that makes this game resemble the show is the character sprites. Otherwise it could all be levels for a damn Spider-Man game and no one would notice. Let's play as Sam next. Give him some time to shine. So the neighborhood level has us breaking into everyone's houses and skating on their rooftops like we're on drugs. You can't skate on sand, but the grass and the roof tiles are apparently as smooth and firm as pavement. You know, I was talking shit about the level design earlier, but the school and the neighborhood have pretty good level design. This is a pretty odd spot to put the keycard slot. Just kinda in the bushes there. There's monkeys all over the damn place too, they're like an invasive species. In fact, the level's boss is a monkey on a floating chair, who actually is not much of a challenge, thankfully. Here we rescue Conroy, which would make a lot more sense if he was trapped at the skate park. You know, where he works. The town square is... I mean, I don't really remember the kids skateboarding on skyscrapers in the show, but it's not bad. What the hell's wrong with Sam's eyeball when he's skating downwards? His pupil splits into 2. Get the fuck on that platform, you testicle. Even with shoes he slips off. I'm not trying to be funny here, this is really happening for real. There's no boss in this level, just a gauntlet of robot heads on springs, which is actually harder to survive in a way. We rescue Officer Shirley and we're on our way. The final level is Spooky Woods. Why? I don't know. Is this supposed to be spooky music? They should have called it Poco Woods. Why is this level even named after the woods? It takes place in a fucking spike-filled cave half the time. The boss is... Bigfoot? What is even happening anymore? Come on, Tito, let's get the fuck out of here. After that, the gang has a meeting in their cul-de-sac to discuss their next move. Ah, crap. They're throwing in more levels. Forget Ocean Shores, let's just get the fuck out of here. And just look at these levels they've added. Ortega Theater? Why? The power station? Why? The biology lab? Fucking why? This is really reaching. I mean, the mountain, okay, they go there once or twice, but they never go to the fucking power station. This is just filler. Stupid bullshit making me play all these crappy levels? They just get longer and longer, and it starts to nail in that feeling of wanting to just be done with this nonsense. It's just a bunch of hunting for stars or keycards in all these mazes while you get your ass kicked by these fucking robots. Why even bother with mind control? Why not just use your robots then? Come on, dude, just fucking land on the robot's head before he starts swinging his arms around. God damn it! They made Slime an enemy. What is this, a Japanese RPG? And some of the characters you're rescuing really only appear in an episode or two. Like Principal Healy? He's like in one episode. The movie attendant? Who is this? Who cares? I don't know what to say. This game is just the same shit over and over again. And I guess you could argue that all games do that, but this game does it in a very unfun way. It's so repetitive it makes you want to just finish the fucking game and be done with it. But you can't because they keep shoehorning levels in and then surprising you with them. The Stargates are simply implemented to force you into exploring the headache-inducing madness of these levels. Seriously, they seem to be complicated at first, but really it's just one main path with little branches hanging off. You could breeze through each level without the gates forcing you to grab something out of the little branching parts. And it's kind of off with each level. Some levels give you like 10 more stars than the gate needs, while others force you to hunt each one down to have just enough stars to continue. And I know I keep saying this, but come on, it's just so generic. Spooky woods? Well, I can't waste my time playing through more of this bullshit, so I'll just have to toss in the code that takes me to the very end of the game. At least now I can confirm how many levels there are, and I can thank God I decided to just skip ahead. There's the boardwalk and a submarine base, which were previously locked, followed by a whole extra 6 levels on an island, and then the Polka Festival back on the mainland. Let me tell you, absolutely none of these levels make me think, man, I'd really wish I had played these. They look just as annoying and confusing as all the other levels are, if not worse. And would you believe this crazy bastard locked up his own wife? The last island has you escaping and heading back to the mainland to stop the Polka Festival. In my opinion, it should have just ended here. The final level is a showdown with Stimpleton himself, or rather a showdown against his Polka device. Which actually means collecting more stars and keycards and, fine, I'll do it, just so we can all see the ending. This level is actually one of the most straightforward levels in the game. There's actually no star collecting. Sorry about that. It's kind of just going through 3 different paths that loop back around to the beginning hub area. Hey guys, Dad especially, can you fucking help me stop this maniac? Nothing branches out really, but these fucking robots are somehow absolutely obnoxious at this point, despite there being less of them overall than in other levels. These rods of uranium look like pickups, but they're just there for flavor, I guess. After shutting down the final switch, we run up to Stimpleton and get a few basic lines. We shut down the Polka device, Stimpleton runs away, you win. Thankfully, instead of pulling some big rigs over the road racing bullshit, they follow up with the next morning after Otto wakes up. During a little wake and bake, Otto tells everyone about his dream and they're like, dude bro, that's dumb. They decide to confront Stimpleton, but it turns out he was just fixing a weather vane, so then they decide to head to Madtown. All is well once more. Or is it? Well, that was Rocket Power Dreams theme. Despite my nostalgia for it, it sucks. Sort of. If you played it as a kid, it's got, well, nostalgia as a factor. To anyone else though, it might just seem like a cash grab. You recognize the main characters, you recognize the names of some of the levels, but then everything else is just not really a recognizable element of the show. To be fair, they had to make the game somehow interesting and long by adding random level design, and the skating was pretty fun when it didn't involve all this precision platforming. I know I kept bringing up that the levels seem generic, but I only meant that in relation to the show. It's not like they didn't put any effort into diversifying the levels. Like the robot facility had a specific background tile set to make it feel like they're making robots there. You know, to make it stand out from other lab levels. They also did a really good job with the sprites, and the music honestly is really good. But the gameplay itself, the hunting for keycards and stars combined with slippery controls, just isn't all that fun. To be fair, one more time, this shit came out on the Game Boy Advance in 2001, about a show where the characters don't really go that far from home often. Not exactly the formula for groundbreaking gameplay. Maybe that's just me. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Make sure to check out my other videos as well. And I'll see you all next time.